Or as someone once said, shut up and dribble.
Remember this lunatic? Well, she's got some influence.
How do you feel about athletes talking about politics?
Listen, I'm going to give you two classic examples. You have Al Pacino, doesn't talk politics. Same age as Robert De Niro that talks politics. Okay? You play basketball, you dribble the ball, you can be a king, whatever you want to call yourself, stay out of it.
You play basketball, dribble the ball? What kind of bigoted dog whistle is this guy on?
The NFL have become very politicized. And it's interesting how that works, too. It has to do with who owns the teams. And that's another subject matter. But whoever owns the teams owns the players, and they're going to be their spokespersons for their agendas. And that's just terrible.
I love this. The NFL has become politicized. Like the NFL and the United States military didn't partake in paid patriotism for years? Come on, man.
I know people get tired of hearing me say it, but we are scared as black people in America. Black men, black women, black kids, we are terrified. Because you don't know. You have no idea. You have no idea how that cop that day left the house.
What about LeBron James speaking on real-life experiences as a black man in the United States?
LeBron James speaking out about politics, athletes speaking out about politics. How do you feel about that?
I think that's just terrible. We don't need to see that. The major sports industries, the NBA, specifically.
Nope. Apparently, it's not acceptable to MAGA to hear of the atrocities our brothers and sisters face in the land of the free, or so-called land of the free.
Athletes like LeBron James speaking out on politics. How do you feel about that?
I think it's a joke. I think Julia Roberts said it's great one time. She said, I pretend for a living. Why would you listen to me? And that's true. When it comes to actors and, overpaid, because I used to be a marketing director for a baseball team, and it's just, they're just overpaid. And again, just because you have a right to say something doesn't necessarily make it right. Does he have a right to do it? Sure. Do I think I'm a huge supporter of veterans and PTSD. To say anything about our military? Absolutely not.
Rough go here, especially when.
And I thought kneeling showed reverence in some way and respect in some way to those that fought and many of those that gave their life for what the flag and the anthem represents. So I thought it looked more proactive. I thought it was important that he was alongside his teammates, embracing his brothers, whether they agreed with him or not, but also, showing that he was willing to give a little bit in some way and willing to sort of lay down his arms. And I thought it just for me, it felt more this proactive, respectful way.
Dudes like Nate Boyer, a former Green Beret, guided Colin Kaepernick in a better way to protest, which was instead of sitting on the sideline or on the bench, he would kneel.
LeBron James speaks out about politics a lot. Athletes are doing it more and more. What do you feel about that?
You could be smart, you can be a really good athlete, you could be really good in your field. It doesn't mean you necessarily are, know everything that's happening in the real world. Some of these people could be a little bit insulated, celebrities, people that are in the top 1% income-wise. So
a wild thing to say, nearly topped off by this clown.
Racism is an issue in America, but it is primarily an issue for the poor. It's not LeBron James's issue.
Wildly inappropriate, but perfectly on brand for someone who caters to incels.
When you black, it's not a movement, it's a lifestyle. we sit here and say it's a movement, and okay, how long is this movement gonna last? Don't stop the movement. No, this is a walk of life. When you wake up and you black, that is what it is. It shouldn't be a movement. It should be a lifestyle. This is who we are.
LeBron James, an athlete, pro athlete speaking out about politics. What do you think of that? How does that make you feel?
I think they should keep their opinions quiet while they're in professional sports.
Awful stuff, but unsurprising considering the crowd.
Like I said on one of my social media platforms a couple days ago, the thing that kind of frustrated me and pissed me off a little bit is the fact that he's now he used sport. He used the sports platform to try to divide us.
He continues to be rewarded with history from Trump's followers.
LeBron James, an outspoken athlete, A lot of athletes are outspoken about politics now. How do you feel about hearing from professional athletes and their political opinions?
I think that professional athletes and professional performers ought to wear the right hat. And I don't think that they should talk in such a way that they're not educated enough and have never done that type of job. I think they need to keep their opinions to themselves and just do their job, which is entertainment.
First things first, if there are any stories we missed, if there are any that you would like to submit, get at me and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. DMs are open. And also, please, pretty please, if you can, go to tyt.com/join to keep us afloat and keep us fully independent. It continues to be a theme, all right? It's as consistent as day and night. It is sports and politics for me, none for thee. The first guy saying he should dribble the basketball. That's it. We should just keep him that way. What do you do for a living, sir? Are you involved in government? Are you involved in local politics? Or are you an accountant or a sales manager? Are you assistant to the assistant regional manager? By your logic, you shouldn't be talking about it either. See how that works? It was the same thing with saying AOC is a bartender and she should stay a bartender. No, she shouldn't. Anybody and everybody, rather, can have an opinion on this stuff. But when we are demeaning a black person for speaking out against police brutality and racial injustice and lack of equality and equity in this country, that, sorry, Nikki Haley, founded on racism, real odd, troubling, dumb, unintelligent. And we keep seeing it over and over again. It is so easy for them to just say, actors should act. Athletes should athlete, but I, who work in insurance, should have an opinion and am allowed to have an opinion. Hypocritical, and still beyond belief to me. So it is what it is, man. Trump supporters in the year 2024.